But don't rule out R.Smith producing perfection in this game, or maybe another one over the course of this weekend, because he is playing very good darts. UK Open quarter finalist already this year. He's qualified for a couple of the first 4 Euro tours. And we'll go into this one as the favourite against Tricky Ricky Williams, man from Hampshire, who was a tour card holder, was a rising star in the world of darts, but has been relegated to a bit part player over the last few years. We have seen him pop up occasionally on the Euro Tour, but not really make a massive impression. But he's a guy who's always had talent.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, it's Ross to throw first. Game on.
We shall see if Ricky Williams' talent manifests itself here against R.Smith.
Yeah, it's a very odd case, Ricky Williams, because he was one of those young lads, alongside Joe Cullen and Aaron Monk and Michael Smith. He was on the New Kids on the Hockey thing, and people were expecting from Ricky. He's had some decent results over the last few years, but the one thing he hasn't had is consistency.
59.
And if you do look through his statistics over the last 3 years, what you will find is that he tends to start the year quite well, but then he tends to go missing. So he almost gets lost around about late springtime. Now, this is a good start for Ricky in 2019. What he's got to do is find a way to be consistent. Now, consistency hasn't been a struggle for R.Smith, because I really do feel that maybe we're starting to see the real product. And I think R.Smith has got a lot to offer this game.
Well, they're both guys who were heralded, weren't they, as young men, as being potentially next big things, and then walked away from the game for a bit.
121.
R.Smith has only quite recently come back to it. And last year, he had a stealthily good year. He's playing some good stuff, and some good stuff on the Euro Tour particularly.
50.
He's always been a decent stage player, Ross. Not just because of that beautiful 9-darter in Gibraltar, but he's had good wins, like you say, at places like Minehead, like Lakeside. And people like Ross, people like Ricky, sometimes you don't get their A game in their early 20s. It takes them more time. You look at someone like Michael Smith, who won the World Youth title and has done lots since then. He's done it quickly. For these darters, it may just take them a bit more time to find the right formula. And Ricky's looking for a single 20 to leave tops to force Ross into getting this 86. And the way he's been throwing this season, it's very likely.
Bullseye it is then.
61.
Worried the wire.
40.
Yeah, the wire got out of the way. Pops for Ricky. Turns into 10s. Should be able to see plenty of that from the left side of the hockey. Can't hit it.
Russia required 25.
You know, pretty dodgy first leg, but you tend to see that a lot on Fridays. People just finding their way into it. Now, it's Ross's turn. Can he say enough? He can. It's a confident dart.
Second leg is Ricky to throw first.
Yeah, nothing to write home about in the scoring, but that 25 was well constructed for R.Smith.
I love what you were saying earlier, Dan, about the importance of those qualifiers. Because you look through the people that these guys beat to get here, and one of them sticks out more than anything else. It's R.Smith taking out Chris Dobie to get here. Now, Chris Dobie knows more than probably any player on Planet Darts just how important these European tours are. He's the one who a lot of people are thinking can really shoot forward. But if you look back over the last couple of years, Chris has been really close and missed out on the match play. Missed out on the Grand Prix. And maybe the reason why he has missed out is because of missing out on tight games like that against Ross. They are absolutely enormous.
Yeah, look, Luke Humphries in the same position last year, missed out Players' Championship finals and the European Championship by 1 win and both, as Ricky Williams matches the max.
You think the quarterfinal run for R.Smith was a surprise?
No, I don't. I have to say, I thought that I was a little bit surprised. He beat James Wade, didn't he? And it was one of those games where it was low 90s averages and it was close, and they're the ones that Wade wins. And Ross found a way to do it, and that is impressive. But he's been winning tight games. I remember him beating Max Hopp in a run to the final day of the Dutch Darts Championship last year. Beat him in a last leg decider.
140.
And I'm not sure if that was the weekend where he was jumping around, taking out a massive finish on winning the game.
Not going to be a 160 for Ricky. He's not going to be jumping around.
85.
He'll be happy with that 60 to give himself an opportunity. If this 72 doesn't go for Ross. Staying up top for double 16, now down to the bottom left.
40.
Just paused a little bit before that one. Don't think he was 100% comfortable.
We are seeing a few more players not give it the full Rob Cross, where you pause, get a paper out, do a Sudoku, and then you throw the dart. Just giving himself a little bit of extra time. Stops for Ricky. No real pause for him.
55.
But no real results either.
32.
R.Smith is getting too many chances here, courtesy of Ricky Williams' ineptitude to hit the right segments. R.Smith is the kind of guy right now who's going to gobble that up. And a couple of points to make on what we've discussed already. I'm not sure that we can call it the Rob Cross, because didn't Painter used to do it?
Yeah, but the thing is with Kev, you're never sure whether it was for the benefit of Kevin Painter or whether it was just to try and annoy whoever he was playing. He'd give it the one way, he'd look at one scoreboard, then look at the other, then stop, step back, look back at his scoreboard, then look at the other. It's like, what? Who's this for, Kev?
Did you just refer to Kevin Painter in the third person?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Fantastic.
But, I mean, as long as Kevin Painter's not referring to himself as in the third person.
He does it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Painter is a great dart player. Kevin Painter knows that. Kevin Painter is a great dart player. There's no doubt in that.
I'll see more of him in the future. He's too spirited. And
57.
the other point I was going to make was about the technique of R.Smith. I think it's no accident that we're seeing him thrive right now because of what is almost a flawless technique.
85.
It's one that you can copy if you're young. Straight up and down. It's just beautiful to watch. Treble 18 you look at. But even if he got it, he wasn't going to go for the bull.
81.
Well, no massive damage done. He'd prefer to be coming back with 3 darts in his hand looking at the double, but should get 2. And Ricky Williams is struggling to get anything in.
I think we're starting to see in this match who has got the real match fitness and the match confidence.
Well, this is it. I mean, as you say, Ricky Williams often starts the year quite well. He had a quarter-final on the Challenge Tour. That's why he had the opportunity to come and play in the qualifiers for this. That's a poor dart, so he doesn't get 2 darts for a leg. But he does get 1 at double 16, and he knows he'll return if he misses. So the pressure is off, Rose. Makes him easier to hit, doesn't it?
Well, it's Ricky to throw first.
Well, sometimes you would think that, and some players, when they're in this spot where their opponent is not really putting them under pressure, they can throw without any urgency.
Yeah, the mind wanders. They need a little tap on the shoulder just to keep them honest, don't they?
Yes.
Were you a player like that? You seem to be a player who's quite.
140.
I mean, actually, difficult to classify. Sometimes you seem to thrive on of being in a battle with somebody, but at the same time, you did seem to go into your own little zone when you were playing, so it didn't really matter what they were doing in some respect.
I've looked back at some of the games of my career, and I remember a game against Barry Bates at the Grand Slam, and Barry was not at his best, and I still played really, really well.
96.
But back then, I think I was swimming in a pool of confidence, and I didn't really care who I was playing. But last year, when I was playing in Gibraltar, I played in the first round against a home nation qualifier, and I wasn't really hit with anything, and I struggled to play half decent. But the next game against Chizzy, I was pressured a lot more, and I played a lot better. I really do feel that I needed somebody to be, chasing my tail in order for me to feel that adrenaline rush. Because when dart players get that adrenaline rush, magnificent things can happen.
Well, it certainly can. Some of the real great games are when you've got 2 players really pushing each other, spurring each other on to something special.
Russia require 160.
Ross Smith dominating this game. Staying straight was the primary requirement of that visit. It could have gone better.
Well, Ricky needs to go searching for big trebles. Doesn't get any. He gets exactly the same score as Ross. But I know what I'd rather have, and that's a ton. Straight above that. Straight down the neck of that one.
80.
The line was good, and he's furious because he knows how good that lie was on that second dart.
Trebles very hard to come by for Ricky Williams.
98. Russia required 20.
Right. Can the fact that Ricky's on a double now spur Ross into getting rid of leg 4? Pressure's on. He is up to it. And once more, when the pressure is applied, he's up to it. Not turning out to be a very good day for Ricky Williams.
It is a struggle for him at the minute, but you can tell Ross is not playing to the level he expects.
I'm wondering why he's staying on the 60 there. He's almost ended up in Belgium trying to hit that treble 20 when there's a beautiful looking treble 17 and treble 19 downstairs that haven't got a massive gate in front of them.
25.
We've talked on many occasions about certain players and their stubbornness on the 60. Well, I don't understand why Ross was staying upstairs previously, but I can understand why he's staying there this time because he's got a 180.
And it is his third one of this game. Ross currently averaging in the high 80s. Now, on the tour, oh, he's just clicked over 90. But on the tour this year, from 18 games, he's averaging more than 93. Oh. And maybe we'll see him drag his numbers up to that. The first 9 average is pretty decent from Ross Smith here, but he has missed 7 darts at double. And there's been a bit of faffing around towards the back end of legs as well. 180 doesn't get Ricky to a finish. 159's a bogey number. And double 18 for Ross Smith. Now the switch to double 9. 5-0, 12 darter, and the end is nigh for Ricky Williams, you feel.
You already said, Dan, that Ross was very famous for hitting that 9 darter in Gibraltar, and we don't want to talk about it too much, but I had a conversation with him. It would have been before the qualifier last year for Gibraltar, and he was so keen to get back there. And there's another 180 from Ross. More proof that he's playing that well. Can he finish this match off? Oh, stupid thing to say. First day of the Euro Tour for 2019.
Behave yourself.
But I said to him, oh, you really fancy getting back, do you? I didn't say anything, Dan, I promise. And he pointed something out to me on the back of his shirt at the time. And he said, look at the initials on the back of my shirt. And if you put a C and a U before my initials and an E at the end, it's the curse.
Yes.
And that was just a bit of serendipity.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, a monogram of Ross Smith's name does have 2 of the 5 letters of the word curse in. I mean,
he did genuinely want to be called the Curse at one point, but he's gone back to Smudger.
Yeah, I mean, he also has 2 of the letters of anti-disestablishmentarianism as well. But I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? I'm not sure 1-2-1 is a bit of a stretch. It could be back-to-back 12 darters here for Ross Smith to finish in style.
Well, gets this. He'll be playing Simon Whitlock tomorrow. And I don't mind that call on 1-2-1 in that spot. I don't mind it at all because all of the pressure is on Ricky Williams and it's very unlikely for this 1-4-6 to go. And it's not going to. On some level, Ross knew that that was not going to be popped. So, will the tops for 6-0.
Double 10 he wants then. Double 5, he's already pinned in this match. And he pins it again for a 6-0 whitewash. Ross Smith, that is 3 games he's played against Ricky Williams in his career. All 3 of them have gone his way, but none more emphatic than that. He's averaged pretty much 94 in the end in that game, and he goes through to the second round tomorrow. R.Smith will return, looking to book his place in the final day of action here at the European Darts Open, and it is the wizard Simon Whitlock, the number 14 seed and former European champion, he'll face. Coming up in a moment, it is Adam Hunt against another debutant on the Euro Tour, Danny van Tripe.
Ross, congratulations. 6-0 in the first round of a European Tour event, average in the mid-90s. Guess you'd take that any day of the week, no?
Yeah, I think I played a bit up and down, but I'm happy I won. But as well, I know Ricky since I was a kid, and I know he's a lot better than that. I think he let me off really lightly, to be fair, because Ricky's a fantastic player. So.
Ich habe zu ihm gesagt, Average in den, um die 95 Punkte, 6-0 gewonnen in der ersten Runde. Das nimmt er sicherlich jeden Tag so. Sagt er, ja, er ist ganz zufrieden damit, auch wenn es ein bisschen schwankend war, sein Spiel. Er kennt Ricky Williams, seit die beiden Kinder sind, sagt er, der kann viel besser spielen, und er hat ihn heute ein bisschen vom Haken gelassen. A player that is probably not going to let you off the hook is Simon Whitlock in the next round. How much will you have to improve to be a threat to Simon?
I don't know what the averages were, but Simon's a great player. Every game is completely different, so you know, it doesn't really matter whether I've hit 110 average or a 60 average. You know, tomorrow's another day. So Simon's a great player, and I'll kick on and yeah, just try and crack on.
In der nächsten Runde wartet dann der Wizard Simon Whitlock auf ihn. Da sagt er, kommt eigentlich nicht so drauf an, was ich heute gespielt habe. Morgen muss ich, beziehungsweise in der nächsten Runde muss ich gut spielen gegen Simon Whitlock, sonst wird es dann nichts. Dabei wünschen wir dann viel Erfolg und sagen Congratulations, Smudger R.Smith!